Okay, in the previous video we have explained to you that maybe it's a good idea to update the archinstall on an ISO that's coming from the internet, which is a frozen thing in time and has never been updated. We're now 22nd of March and this is the 1st of March. So in the meantime, archinstall created an update because of a package that's missing, and they say maybe you should just update the thing. So that's what we're gonna do. First of all, we're on Plasma, great. Secondly, we have AAG, also super. I don't need to download the ISO of ArcoLinux, I can build it right now. Create your personal ArcoLinux ISO, boom. It's creating the ISO with the latest kernel, with the latest packages, everything in there. So that's all I need, an ISO, to just launch it. Now I have to wait for the build, and since this thing I did not set it to pause, so we'll have a look at the ArcoLinux application Glade in the meantime. Let's go over here, move out of this desktop, go to another desktop, and move to the internet. Let's see what we find if we Google this ArcoLinux application Glade. What is this thing? It's basically an app that was built out of the goal to learn to write applications in Python with GTK 3, and then later on there is this application called Glade, which is actually just a GUI, and then we're gonna add Linux to it. Better. And here you can actually drop your elements and design your elements just like any other user interface application. You say, I want to have a drop down, I want to have this, I want to have that, right? So that's Glade. So I wanted to learn about Python and Glade, and these guys, if we can find it, I think it's around 80 videos. 80 videos of me wanting to learn how to build an application like this. And then of course it grew. What if I want this? What if I want that? What if I want this? So that's basically the results. Let's see if we get there. That's already in ISO. So this is the page, how to create a GTK 3 application with Python. So we grew into developing. And first of all, we created the app without Glade. And at some point in time, we decided, let's rearrange the look and the buttons and all that, and design it with a user interface called Glade. So here we start after the switch to Glade, 43 videos here and 86 videos here. I mean, after 120 videos, if you don't know how to build the app or a app for you, right? I would be very surprised if you follow all these tutorials. So it's working on ArcoLinux, it's working on DevOS, it's working on ALCI, it's working on Carly, it's working on Archcraft, it's working on Reborn OS, and Ariser is our own project. It works everywhere, and it just got more and more buttons and more things to do because my brain is filled with all kind of what ifs. We found interesting stuff, so sometimes we learn from others. 4 videos here, 62 videos here, 11 videos here, 5 videos there, and an interesting channel for you if you are interested in building your own app as well. So in the meantime, he's still busy, I think, applying this command, so he'll tell us if he's finished. And this is a rather old machine, but let's go to desktop number 3. That one, awesome. These wallpapers are just amazing, and it's variety, grabbing them from Wallhaven. I don't do a thing. They randomly come in. This is just a beautiful one. Let's have a look how the folders look. Super Shift Enter. The folders are now brownish, which is not my preferred color. But anyway, right, probably somewhere in here. It's kind of brownish. I don't think you would like that if I said it. It says it's red. Okay, but thank God he can't get out of the screen here. He's trapped in my screen. I just wanted to have a look at, is it already out? So what happens is we have here an ISO later on, an archlinux.org thing, but build it ourselves, meaning we got 22 days of updates in ArcoLinux terms, at least 2 kernels, right? Ahead than the one from March. So we're just waiting for this to end, and let's see what we can fill it up with. So ArcoLinux is a university. We want to learn. I want to learn. The return on investment is that I get smarter and I immediately share the knowledge, any knowledge, right? It's about building ISOs. It's about creating distributions. It's all shared. It's all open source. You can all watch it and become smarter in any language, I might add. So if you want to change this to Japanese, let's have a go. Okay. Thank God I can read Japanese, joking. So better not do that. Now I guess we need to go back to English then. Restore pages, blah, blah, blah. Nope. So we can build our own ISOs. We can learn about desktops, very specific things like home. Let's go to a desktop. I want to learn about i3. Okay, then you go and have a look at the phases. XFC is here, Budgie and all those guys are here. Tiling window managers, i3, click. Now i3 has a past for me. I mean, I've used i3 years before I even started with ArcoLinux. So, right, learn, because i3, for instance, there are others as well, but i3 can just work on any distro, Linux, Mint, Ubuntu, whatever, right? Any distro. And all you need is one file, one config, move that with you, and all the rest are applications. And it's done, right? A few applications for it to run i3. If that's available on your system, great. The config, done. It's all information about all these tools, and there's even more here on the arcolinux.com because of the way how we grew. That's why they're there as well. So it's still busy. Yeah, it's an old machine. In here we'll get an ISO later on. We'll have to wait. By the way, it's a 10-year-old machine. So let's continue talking about ArcoLinux. So all these things is because at the university you don't get one course. You get a beginner's course, and then maybe a more advanced, and then an expert course. That's basically the same thing, right? You just can't run a marathon before you start walking. So first learn the basic stuff about how to burn a USB, how to put it on your system. There are several things you need to do on your laptop or your desktop, how to set things in BIOS, in UEFI settings to ensure that it's even possible to install Linux. Learn about the tool to get everything on there. Be smart in buying stuff, right? Why buy a computer that doesn't support Linux? Don't give them your money, right? Choose first, buy then. Make sure Linux works on your laptop or on your system. So all the information about BIOS, pre-installation, installation, post-installation, must read, fast track, now what, right? The basic things are here, and here you're gonna go and have a look. I want to know something about NVIDIA. I just wrote a new article about NVIDIA, which is not there. Too bad. Don't do that. So I go to my other computer, as you may be hearing on my mic. and I say to the system, log me in and remove the cache. Clear and preload cache. Right, I've written something and it's here. Reload. And video all from the frogging family is just created a few minutes ago. It is sometimes very easy. It's super easy. There's a hardware out there that just installs any Linux distro, and there are hardware picks you can do that is not gonna be working at all or having issues all the time. Right? So before you buy, you do your homework, research. I think it's called Linux hardware is where I go and have a look first. Let's see. If we type probe, that's the place to be. So let's have a look at the URL again. I'm still talking, dear. Okay, ciao. She's gone. So linuxhardware.org, that was it. Okay. linuxhardware.org. Before I buy anything, I'm gonna see, is this or that supported? Is that particular part, because I don't buy laptops, which makes it easy actually, because it's, well, it's a whole system, right? But if you buy desktops, then you handpick your elements. You say, I want to have that main motherboard, I want to have this, and I want to have that, and then you have to look a little bit harder. But anyway, you can have a look and say, okay, ArcoLinux, select your Linux distro and know what's actually working on here. So these are the recent probes here. 2,595 tested computers, and these are all the ports. So let's have a look at some hardware. So notebooks, a lot of notebooks, notebook. Like I said, I'm not a fan of laptops. Are just too small for my fingers anyway. So there we go. A lot of things to investigate. How is it coming along? Ah, there he is. The ArcoLinux ISO is out. It's 953.3. I think they're doing very hard, working very hard to remain under 1,000. I think that's gonna be a border they don't like to cross, right? Anyway, that's done. I've got my ArcoLinux application Glade tested on a new Plasma 6 on Wayland, and we quit. We have now our ISO. We can try out in the next video then. Our tip that we found here is get the new thing in and try to install Plasma. Maybe we can combine it with a QEMU installation as well. Normally VirtualBox is our default and it's always been working in the last 6 years. Maybe mix things up, and then we have another test for QEMU on Wayland. Alright, see you next video.